All right, you guys, welcome back to Office of the Day. Today we do have a very special guest that we met in a, I guess you would say, random way, but what God calls it is a divine appointment. So today we're going to introduce a great artist, creator, specifically a dancer, scriptwriter. I mean, the list just goes on. It's insane. But thank you so much for coming on, Mr. Da'Ante. Go ahead and introduce yourself because nobody could do it better than you.
Hi guys, my name is Da'Ante. Like he said, thank you for all those words. It's crazy to even hear those back. So my name is Da'Ante. Like I said, you can follow me on Instagram at Da'Antes_Inferno, and I'm glad to be here. So thank you.
Absolutely. So we're going to just jump right into it because we have quite a bit of things to go over. So make sure you guys keep up. Give me a little bit of background of your story and how you made it here to LA. Welcome to LA.
Thank you. So I am literally, December 23rd is when I arrived in Los Angeles, which is 4 months ago. And it's been crazy. I've been in LA a couple of times, you know, the whole moving out here and then leaving. So I came here when I was 18. I'm 26 now. When I was 18, I took a Greyhound, which was literally 3 fucking days long. Wait, can I cuss?
Absolutely.
Okay, I was like, I'm about to bleep it out. So I took a Greyhound, which was 3 days long, and it was the most exciting but yet scariest thing I've ever done in my life. It was right after high school graduation, back in 2015. And I just was like, you know, let me just go. I've always had this urge to become an artist, to share myself with the world, to share my art, share my creativity. And I have big dreams. So I was like, you know, fuck it, let's go. Booked the ticket, got there, and lasted 3 months. I lasted 3 months because I literally only had $200 like in my bank account. And I was like, okay, I'm going to be out here. Went back home. Because I couldn't hack it. It was a lot all at once at 18. I was just like so naive, but you know, really ambitious and excited. But I knew that like I needed to go back. So I left. Went to college. And then in the midst of my junior year, the brink of my junior year, that little spark that I had when I like graduated and left to go to like California the first time around came back, and I was like, you have to leave again. And I looked at my class schedule, looked at like people around me, and I was like, I cannot be here. I shouldn't be here. I'm an artist. I need to tell my story. I need to create. And I literally booked my ticket in the middle of my classes, literally. Y'all have a habit of doing this. So I literally booked my ticket in the middle of my classes and was just like, I'm booking a flight to Los Angeles. And I left.
So wait, you just dropped everything?
I literally dropped everything. I like literally just was just like, okay, I can't do this shit anymore. And booked my flight, got it the next day, and I was in LA the very next day.
That's motivation right there. Excuse me. That's insane. I love it. Keep going.
It is so crazy to think because like I really have like these spontaneous like moments, and it's just like spurts of me just being so, I guess, like ambitious and in love with like my dream. And literally, so I booked the ticket, left, and that was literally 3 years ago. When I first got to Los Angeles. And when I got here, I met beautiful people, had beautiful connections. And then COVID happened. So in my mind, I waited this whole fucking time to get here. And then the world ends when I arrive in Los Angeles. And at that moment, I felt like the dreams, everything I wanted to do was just like this bubble was just like popped. Like, you know, like I dreamed of being here since I was a kid. I was the type of kid that would play outside, but I would play like I'm in a movie. I would act like I'm outside. I could make the like wind move with my mind, and it's part of X-Men movie or something. I did the whole Disney Channel sign logo 1,000 times. Had like so many like interviews with myself about a movie that I'm doing. And then to get to the place that is Dreamland, which is LA for me. And it was shut down, just really just put a damper on me arriving here. I just felt very like what the fuck is going on, you know?
That's so cool. I mean, fearlessness is, I mean, I don't have words for what you were able to do to be able to just to send it, buy the flight, come out here, and then what happens? You go home.
Yeah, went home. I went home, and for a little bit I was at home, and I'm from Kentucky. So a little small town called Madisonville, Kentucky. It is very, very slow. When you get there, it feels like you're 10 years behind. I'm, grateful that I grew up there because it taught me so many lessons, but it is not a place for someone like me, the black sheep, someone that, has dreams, ambitions, and just really wants to change the world. It's very just simple, simplistic, a little bit racist, a little bit homophobic, a little bit racist, homophobic, and all these other things. But it's home, and I think it's where God placed me in order to have the experiences to be able to make it where I am, which is in Los Angeles, charting my own course. So yeah.
Shout out to you. I mean, it sounds like you were in such an environment where everything that you're striving to be, that you're doing now, is just, it's not even that, it's not reality. It's like something out of a fairy tale, right?
Yeah. No, it definitely feels like a fairy tale because I was the little boy that after school, I'd read so many books. I would literally sit in the living room floor with my notebook, my composition book actually, and just write so many stories. And literally every story that I wrote was just like about a boy traveling the world, chasing his dreams, meeting people and doing all these things, and like literally being the superhero in his own story. And I think that's kind of like the role that I want to play in my life, and I think that's the role I am playing in my life. Like, I think that we literally have these moments that we take a step and step back, that like we really are the main characters in our own movies. And my movie is about a boy who is from a small town, who has these big dreams, and everything around him says you can't do it. Everything around him says no. Everything around him says you will never make it. But he says fuck that, and goes out and chases every little dream he possibly can, no matter the outcome, no matter the distaste that it brings other people. It's literally just him, his dream, and where it takes him.
I love that. So you're kind of set me up for the next plug kind of perfectly there. Tell me a little bit about how you've been able to overcome all these obstacles when it comes specifically to the mental health subject line.
Yeah, so mental health is a big thing right now, and in my life. First, I wanted to say, like, for me, it's definitely been my faith, and then it's also my belief in myself. The crazy thing is I found who I was during COVID, and COVID really like brought out the inner workings of my brain. I really had to dig deep and find myself and find who I am, and really just unpack and do a bunch of shadow work. Because before COVID, which COVID was a blessing, but it also was a curse. And so don't get it twisted. It was crazy as fuck, but it definitely showed me who I was and who I was supposed to be or meant to be. And that is just, to be transparent, it's a light in the world, in this world right now. And I was just like clouded by so many different distractions and things and labels and placements on myself that didn't really align with who I was supposed to be. So my mental health spat right now is going to be, it really was a moment in time that I almost gave up the dream.
Gotcha.
I almost thought that, like, if the world is ending right now and COVID is happening and all this stuff is going on, would being an artist matter? Like, would with me being a dancer, with me being wanting to write scripts and be in movies or do all these crazy cool things that inspire others, entertainment wise, would it matter if everything else is going to shit? And I literally thought about it and I was like, no, really, honestly, if the world was ending, like, being an artist wouldn't matter, because
But the impact you create does. Excuse me.
no,
Yes.
yeah, and like I thought about that too, like the impact, it will live forever, but then in a sense it'll just be for that time.
Right.
And for me, I was like, yo, like, who am I without art? Who is Da'Ante? And I feel like as people, we have these questions. We're like, who are you? If we ask ourselves who we are, we'll say, oh, I'm Da'Ante, I'm 26, I'm from Kentucky, I do this, I do that. But like, those are just identifiers. Those are just describing who we are. They're not actually telling like who we are as people.
Right.
And during COVID, I kind of started to understand, like, I needed to find out who I was without all the access, like who I am without everything else. Those are just things I do. Those are just things that are like telling of me. But who actually am I? And the first thing I wanted to say is that I'm a human. I'm a human that has dreams, that, you know, is ambitious enough to chase those dreams without, you know, something telling him no, or that he can't do it. I moved here. I'm alone because I have my family's back home in Kentucky. So I'm that human. But what does that human do in this world? Like, and it's the craziest thing for me during that time in COVID. I was really just understanding like these things about myself, like, what am I doing? What am I here to do? And the answers just started to flow. I'm here to just tell my story. I'm here to just tell where I was at point A, all the way when it's point Z, to be able to share to the next person or a group of people that are just like me, who feel very lost in a world that really just wants to create more confusion for you to be lost. It thrives on you being lost. It thrives on fear and being scared of the unknown.
Right.
And I think my story is just, you know, to really just be like, it's okay, and accept that the fear, you know, is just there as a distraction, and it's not really your fear.
You said that very well. Tell me about your connection with family and how you go about your day-to-day to understand that you're chasing your dream, even though you're away from your loved ones.
Yeah, that's a great question. So all my life, I've just always been like the person that wants to save my family. I'm the oldest, single mom, and just seeing my mom like struggle with trying to raise 4 kids by herself. My dad was there, but he wasn't like present. Like,
Gotcha.
He was in the room, but he wasn't present. And I think for me, I always wanted to heal that wound and help with me and my brothers and sisters. But the only way I could feel that I could do that, is by chasing my dreams in order to be able to provide the life that I want and see for us. And I think it's a tragic thing that I have to separate from them in order to do that. I have to chart my own course and move thousands of miles away to even put a dent in my dreams to make them a reality, while they're home, you know, living their lives, but also missing out on the best version of myself, getting to know me, getting to watch me grow up, getting to watch me, you know, thrive and be a part of that. Because, and vice versa, me, same thing with them. I have a nephew that I really don't know. I have, my sister just had her first boyfriend, you know, graduation's coming up. My grandparents are getting older, and my mom's getting older, dad's getting older. And when you stop and think about it, family is everything. They're the ones you come inside here with.
Right.
And for me, it's one of those things of like, a battle with me is the dream worth it? You know? When they're gone, is the dream going to be worth it? And that's one of the tough ones for me, because it's just like, this has to work. This has to be it. Otherwise, I wasted my time. And funny thing is, the other day, my granddad called me. Love this man. And he called me and was just like, I want you to be safe, and I believe in all your dreams. But something stuck out to me, what he said. He was just like, but just don't waste your time. And I didn't know how to take that. I didn't know to take it as, don't waste your time doing what you're doing because, you're not as talented as you think you are, you're not going to make it. Or was it, don't waste your time with the people that you love and have in this life?
I don't think so. I think he meant maximize the time while you're here, in this space and with all the people you have around you. I think he just literally meant to maximize your time.
Got you. No, that makes sense.
But again, I have no idea.
I'm just guessing. Insane. And I'm just thinking that was one thing that like stuck out, and I was like, yeah, you're right. And in a sense, it just put into my head that like, this has to be my quest, and it has to be my drive and my dream, just because the fact that like there is so much love there for all of them that I would risk that. And it's crazy to think that right there is just something that I'm going to look back and be like, like I did this for them. And I just feel that it's going to make sense. I don't know what it is, but I feel like it's going to make sense and it's going to happen the way it's supposed to.
It's your faith.
Yes. No, it definitely is. God has definitely shown me some beautiful things in the last 3 years. There is how my faith started was I was in college, and I was just like, really just like, living the college life, running and just not really thinking about it, like God and everything. And I grew up in the church when I was a kid and everything else, but like the disconnect for me is like as an artist doing what I do, half of the battle is believing in myself and believing that I'm put here in divinely purpose, right? And it's hard to think that my homosexuality and my faith can't go hand in hand. And I think for me, that's also where I draw a lot of my artist nature from, being very like vulnerable and transparent, because I feel like that is also a bridge that I want to, a gap that I want to bridge.
Right.
Right. And I think there was a time during the COVID time when I was in my apartment and the four walls just got so suffocating, that popped up in my mind, and I was like, okay, what is this, And it was crazy. I went out, and I know we're not supposed to go out during COVID, but I went out anyway to a COVID thing, and I went out and I had a time with some friends that I just met or whatever, and as I was in the club, in the bar, I was looking around, and I just didn't really feel like something was just like off. Something was different. I'm not even gonna lie. Something was different. Something was like, you shouldn't be here. You have something else to do, And I saw this man. He's an old guy, but he was an old guy, same structure as me and everything else, sitting alone at the bar. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, this just like, why am I focused on this guy? And it just felt like it resembled a road, And it was so weird. And I might sound crazy, but really I don't give a fuck. But it was crazy. Like, he was there, and I was like resembling me in a way, in a weird connective way. And I was like, why is he here? And he's like older. He's sitting alone by himself. Like, why is he there? And I just thought, and then I started seeing people in the bar that was just like drinking and doing all uncontrollable things. And I'm not saying drinking's bad or anything, but I am saying that like sometimes we drink to distract ourselves.
Yep.
And sometimes we do we have these vices, and we distract ourselves from what our purposes are. And that's kind of where I was at. I was distracting myself to like not think of how lonely I was, think how depressed I was, how much I missed my family, how much I felt alone in the endeavor that I was going on, chasing these dreams. And I was just like, I feel like that I am, going down a path that like is just because of the distractions. And I seen that, and I was like, this is not the life that I want to live. I don't want to be alone at a bar at 50, going down memory lane. I don't want that to be my life. So I just left. I left the bar, I left my friends, and I was just like, I got to go home. But immediately as I got into my room, my apartment, I just did what I thought that like was embedded in my brain from when I was a kid. Like, we were supposed to, when we were kids, we were told to like, well, I don't know if everyone was told this, but I was taught to like get on your knees and pray when you feel overwhelmed. And I got home from the bar and like I couldn't think of anything else to do because I was so overwhelmed with so much emotion and everything. I was drunk too, and I fell to my knees and just started to pray. And it was the craziest feeling. Like I prayed for a good like boohoo crying, like just saying everything. I was cussing God out. I was like yelling like, why the fuck is this and that. I was just literally saying everything in my brain that I felt in that moment, and was just like, why do I feel this? What am I doing here? What is going on? Are you okay with me being gay? Am I supposed to be an artist? Am I supposed to go home? Am I supposed to go back to my family? Am I supposed to be an artist? Am I supposed to dance and create? I was just going in about all these things. And at the end of it, 3 hours, maybe 4 hours later, after I just felt like this weight, like just lift off my shoulders. And it was just peace. Although it's like all the worry that I had and all the questions just like immediately left. And that just changed the course of my life to where we are now.
Right. I think that was great for you to do because you let off what was on your mind and you told God. And I feel that God is accepting towards everybody. What God doesn't accept is people not being themselves, people not being kind to one another, people not living their life to their best potential. So I think that was a really amazing story. And most importantly, it was great that you had that conversation with God, because if he wasn't accepting of you, I mean, you wouldn't have felt that peace to begin with.
Yeah.
Or maybe you would have because you let stuff off your chest.
Mm-hmm.
But as you've seen with the progression from then to now, I mean, you could see and feel it every day. You look out, we see plants in this office currently. I mean, it just, world doesn't exist, or this world doesn't exist without God. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I'm kind of speechless right now. That was an amazing story.
No, thank you. And it's one of those things that it's happened so, it's within the last 3 years, and it's so recent that the only thing that like I can attest to that is the only reasoning that I have this drive to keep going is because I know that I'm always good. And I know now, when back then I didn't. Back then I didn't think that like, oh, like I can get through this, that, and the third. I have to leave. I think at a certain point in my life, having the faith and that ability to just submit and be like, okay, like I know that there is something that I must do, but I'm actively running away from it. And I kind of just want to not run away and turn around, because he's there waiting for me to do that. Turn around and be like, hey, I believe that you believe that I can do all these things. Everything that I dreamed of doing, you want for me.
Yeah, it's because of you.
You want for me, and I'm the one listening to distractions and the world and thinking that I need this, that, and the third. And the moment that I stopped doing that is the moment that everything changed. And I don't think that he gives us, the fact that he does give his strongest soldiers their toughest battles. And that's why I think life is so hard for us. You know, for some of us, life is so crazy, but it's only to teach us things that we need to go along our way. We have to understand that he looks at things from a grander perspective, and the way we as humans see things are completely different. He would put you through some shit to teach you a lesson, where a human would be like, I don't want to go through this. Maybe you should just take the shortcut. And I think for a long time I've been taking shortcuts. And I think now I'm really understanding that I just really got to have my faith and believe in myself that things will work out. Which another thing is, I just moved back here. I prayed before coming to Los Angeles, like, align me with people, align me with, you know, things that are going to better me and align that need to happen. And we're on this podcast.
Yeah. And to go to that saying, live your truth and be yourself. Yes. And yeah, I'm very proud of you. I mean, I don't know what it's like for you, but I can only imagine how difficult it can be on a day-to-day. So, yeah. Especially living in Kentucky, again, I've never been there, but I can imagine. I've seen stupid movies that make small towns look a certain way.
Yeah.
And I say stupid movies because, again, obviously there's a lot of probably BS in them.
Mm-hmm.
But live your truth. Be the best self. You can be your best self, and like how you are every day. I mean, when we met the first time, I asked you how you go about your gratitude, or how you go about like being grateful, and you said I just am every day for everything, for being able to eat, to be able to live. And then you told me your back end story, and I just blown away. So it's amazing. Keep doing what you're doing, and keep showing and showcasing on your social media that anybody can do anything, because if you guys are listening, you know you can do anything.
Hey, because you can. I think people have it in their heads that they just can't, and that there's something special about people who can. And really, it's just a mindset.
It's a mindset.
It's a mindset. It's not even like something so like different or special. It's like people are really just understanding who they are. They're living in their truths, and they're accepting their flaws. They're accepting their shortcomings. They're accepting everything that they have to offer and not to offer, but they want to offer. It's like the full spectrum of being a human is emotions and feeling. And I think once we as humans start to allow the same gratitude we have for other people with ourselves, everything changes from within. And I think that right there is the key to literally believing in everything. Like, it's so cliche to say believe in yourself. Like, believe in yourself. Like, yeah. But when you actually do, everything comes full circle.
Absolutely. And that's the hardest thing as, like, a guy, or, I mean,
no.
I feel like women definitely are more in tune with their emotions. As a guy, it's hard for, I mean, at least me, I'm still working on it, understanding my emotions, doing things correctly, and not acting out of impulse, and not letting things just get bottled up, like, you know, in a literal bottle. So, yeah.
No, it is. But it's crazy to think that, like, why did we have this thing where it has to be different for guys? Like, emotions are a human thing. You're a human. I'm a human. Men everywhere, men listening right now, it is okay to feel. It is okay to not be this macho, alpha male when it comes to your emotions and feelings. You can learn how you can express what you feel, and anyone that tells you or makes you feel that like you shouldn't or can't, they shouldn't be a part of your lives.
Right.
Because you're a human at the end of the day. Just because you're a man doesn't mean you shouldn't be able to shed a tear. You shouldn't be able to express your vulnerability. You shouldn't be able to be authentic with how you should feel. A lot of us bottle things up and keep a lot of things inside just because we fear someone's going to think us less of us for doing so. That is the dumbest shit that I've heard in my entire life. So, my message for you guys is to just feel, be able to feel like we are humans as well. And I think a long time I've been told that I'm not man enough to do this, or I'm not masculine enough, and this is why I'm this way. And I was like, no, I'm just a human that feels, because I'm really expressing from my soul. I think when we express our emotions from our soul, the inner comes out, and that's what a lot of us are not allowing ourselves to do. So just learn to feel.
Learn to feel.
Learn to feel. That's a song. It should be a song.
So you said something pretty powerful right now too. Your message. What is your impact that you've been creating, that you're looking to continue to create and eternally create for after you're not here anymore?
Yeah, so for me, it's really just as simple as wanting to inspire the world for change and changing the dynamic of how we as humans are. I think for me, I see a lot of hate, I see a lot of violence, I see a lot of envy, jealousy, I see a lot of just chaotic energies in this world that just need a voice. And I, unfortunately, used to also, cave into and want that for like myself as well. Like I allowed those negative energies into my life. And I think realizing that those are not benefiting, not beneficial, not helpful. And so healing that, it's time to change that. I want to be a light in this world. I want people to be able to just look at me as an artist, as a human, as someone that was their authentic, unapologetic, self, literally just vulnerable and human. I think we've strayed far away from what human is, and I think my message would be just try to influence to get our humanity back. So hopefully when you follow me and follow my story and literally follow my art and just look at the things that I am a part of, have done, and will do, you'll see the human inside me. You'll see the humanity. You'll see the love. You'll see the little boy that, just had dreams and wanted to, chase them all and get back to that playful mindset that we all used to be as kids. I think my impact is just making the world playful again. Because I think adults, at a certain point in time, we were all kids and we played in the playground and we all just made friends with someone that just wore the same color as us. Best friends forever. We had this imaginative, dream-like reality of the world. And I think as adults, we lose that. And I think it's always been a mission of mine to just bring that reality back, or try to at least. Because I feel like that was the best time of my life when I was just carefree. And that's where I'm trying to get back at. That's what my art and who I am as I create. I'm an artist because we're painters or coloring, or that. We were artists, little artists, coloring in art class. We were playing outside, and I think creating and being an artist and being in the industry and connecting and talking is a form of playing. The world is this big playground, and we just want to play. And I think at a certain point in time, reality are those adults telling us to grow up. And I think I want to leave something behind that allows us to play and allows us to imagine again as adults. There should be fucking playgrounds for adults. So people make that a thing. There literally should.
Yeah, that aren't bars.
Yeah, that aren't bars and stuff like that. What do adults do to pass the time? We jump straight into vices. Yeah. There's nothing for us to do that is healing. Kids have playgrounds, kids have each other, kids have coloring books. But if you see an adult coloring, you're kind of what the fuck they're doing, I think I want to bring that back to a sense of just getting to that childlike mentality. And I think that's what childlike faith is. I think when they say childlike faith, that's what it means to be childlike. to walk blindly, not care. Kids will jump out of a fucking tree and just think they can fly, break their arm, be like, oh, fuck, cool. Like, where did that go?
You know where it went. All the distractions that they put in this world, even before social media, all this, get your job, do the, 9 to 5, or, I mean, there's nothing wrong with a 9 to 5 because there's many people that are in a 9 to 5 that's still after work, before work, or working on their dreams. So not to bash 9 to 5s. 9 to 5s are great and can supply stable income. But if you're not doing anything after or before, you might want to reconsider and reevaluate where you're going. But it's just with all the distractions, like how you said, there's many distractions. Even before social media, they had these distractions to kind of keep you in this box that we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, the rat race.
The rat race.
The rat race. And like, there's nothing wrong with supporting, like he was saying, like supporting, like your family, you, and everything else. It's just the repetitiveness. What's your why? I was driving down like the other day, and I just look in people's cars, and I just see people that like, they just don't look happy. People don't look happy anymore. Like, people don't smile. People don't just drive in their car looking goofy or just doing anything. It's just stern faces. They look sad all the time. And I just feel like I'm wondering what that is. Where's the disconnect? Why are we not happy at work? Why are we not happy? Why are we not smiling? Why are we not communicating?
We get caught up in the mess and lose our gratitude.
Literally. Like, being grateful is one of the only, we should be grateful that we are living, for one. We're breathing, that we can walk, that we can see, that literally we are here right now in this moment. Grateful that we are here where we could be doing so many different other things. We could be down bad. We could be down on our luck right now. We could be in so much shit, and I think being grateful is one of the things that people are just not anymore. And I think we need that definitely. Just have some gratitude that you're alive wherever you are.
Explain how you do that in the mornings and what you do to keep your vibration up, because you just keep helping me out to get to the next topic.
I would say for me, music is spiritual.
Gotcha.
Like, music has a connection with me that, and those that like are music heads, like, you understand that music has a way of changing your mood, inspiring you to do something. It uplifts you when you want to go work out or something like that, and you want to like kill some like squats or deadlifts or whatever. Like, you will play some hard hitting music, for me, like, I listen to instrumentals, like melodic sounds in the morning. I listen to like so many uplifting songs that talk about dreams, that talk about like their like stories about people chasing their dreams, doing things like, you can make it, you can do this, you can do that. I constantly keep myself in a realm of positivity. And it starts from when I wake up. I literally give gratitude to God that like I'm alive and I'm well, I'm healthy, that I am literally here. I have a 365-day devotional that I like read every day. And it's just like little things like that to get me ready for the day, help me stay in this vibration that I'm in. And I've also learned that along the way, no one else is going to do that for you. And no matter how much you want to be or better off or inspirational or stay this vibration, like, you really have to put in the work and do it yourself. No one's going to tell you. We're adults. No one's going to tell us to wake up. No one's going to tell us to read this, read that. I read a lot of books. And the company you keep is very pivotal in your healing process and keeping that high vibration. I've cut out a lot of people in my life that know me from the low vibrational Da'Ante that I used to be. And if you can keep me there, then we have to part. If you only keep me there, if you only keep me at that version of myself, and that's what you see, every time we talk, I, don't like eliminate someone, because there's always room for growth, but I definitely distance myself from things that hinder me. And I'm all about energies. I'm all about good vibes. I'm all about positivity. The moment that someone starts lacking those things, I just distance myself. And I don't feel like I don't have to explain to anyone why, just because I'm an adult.
Absolutely not.
You don't have to explain yourself. And I think for back in the day, my old self, I used to want to be liked by everyone. I used to want to explain myself to everyone. If I don't want to go out, I would have to feel like I need to make something up. Now it's just like, no, I don't feel like doing that. Or that's not something I want to do. Or actually what you said is kind of fucked up. So, or just being very authentic with how you feel, because it's a disservice to you and me if I'm allowing certain things to happen and I'm not saying in them those moments, because then I'm left 2 hours later alone thinking like, shit, I should have said this, or I feel like this. So I stopped doing those things. And I think that is how I keep myself so up and always constantly creating.
Let that sit with you guys for a sec, because wow, and I love that. The one thing I listen to every morning is by Big Sean. You just type in Big Sean motivation on YouTube, and it's 4 minutes and 25 seconds, and everything he says is almost kind of correlating to what you said, but it just keeps your vibration up. Whatever you see, you can achieve. Whatever you want, you have to be very specific about what you want.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I want to ask you next. Like, what was your kill switch moment that changed your trajectory to become your full self?
Yes, that's a great question. I think we also have so many kill switch moments in our lives.
You're right.
And I think for me, there was been multiple moments in my life that were very prominent. And I think when I was a kid, I was like 8 or 9. Growing up, I just understood that like so much around me was chaotic and crazy. I think one moment in my life that just made me aware that I needed to do something different, be different, do better, was a time when I saw my dad punch my mom in the face. And I definitely think that at that time, being the oldest son, feeling the need to protect and feeling the need to do all this, and it started a fire in me that I had to be better and get myself out of this type of trajectory of my life. So that was one kill switch moment, was just like, I have to be different. This is not my reality. I can't grow up like this. Seeing my brothers and sisters like behind me, pushing them aside, being like, this has to change. I have to do something. Another one was definitely in high school when I came out. I was on track to play basketball, and I was thinking I was gonna go to college and play basketball, NBA dreams, hoop dreams, and that was my life. Before dancing, I danced and everything, but that was under the radar, because I didn't want people to think I'm weird or anything.
Or judge you.
Yeah,
or
judge
blah,
you,
blah, blah.
because I was straight, and I just did air quotes. So during basketball, I played basketball and I was really good. I was varsity, I started and everything else. I tore my ACL one time. And after that, I was just like, okay, I'm not dancing. I'm not playing basketball anymore for a little bit. I had to wait. I still went to practices. I still did all this stuff with the team. And I was still there. But one of my friends was just like, I bet you, he said the only thing that you can do now, team-wise, is probably doing the dance team. But it was a joke. He was joking. And you know how guys joke and locker room fun. And I was just like, wait. Something inside me in that moment literally just lit up. When he said that, I was like, but Da'Ante, you do dance all the time. You dance at night when no one's awake. You go outside and dance. You dance a lot. And in my head, I was like, what the fuck? Like, what? And as soon as I was like, you know, I might join the dance team. Just something inside me just like lit. And the fuse just like sparked. And I was like, I'm joining the dance team. And I just felt so alive in that moment. So the kill switch mode was really that time when I actually healed from my ACL injury, tried out for the dance team, being the first guy ever in my small ass redneck town, joining the dance team and making it, having to start the basketball game, jumping up, hitting the ball, and then during halftime, running back and changing to my dance outfit uniform. Really, I was like Troy Bolton from High School Musical.
That's so cool.
I literally did that whole thing, danced, and then went back out and played. And I think that mentality of it just broke the veil of like caring about what people thought of me or the fear that I had. It was like everything that I was scared of completely vanished. I was like, I'm not scared of anything because I just did this for myself. For one, I came out. For two, I literally joined the dance team. No one's ever done this before. This is a first. And then three, everyone that was talking shit the day before, when they saw me dance, I got standing ovation. And I was like, I gained respect because I literally believed in myself and did something that I was scared to do, which also pushed me to come out. I came out on social media. I had my little sister write I'm gay on my chest, and I posted the like Tumblr picture. And I turned my phone off, literally turned my phone off for the whole weekend. I did it on Friday. So the weekend, I waited on Monday to turn my phone back on because we had a weekend, so I'm not in school yet, so anybody says anything, I won't see it, la, 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 la. So I turned my phone off, go to school, and then I'm just like, okay, turn the phone on. Ding, 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 ding. And mind you, I'm in a small town, so the town is like, everyone knows.
Right.
And I'm just like, oh, shit. So here I am listening to like Ice Cube. Told y'all. I listened to I ain't never scared, bitch. So I had to get in the zone because I literally thought that like I was like going to fight that whole day. Right. So I'm wearing a jersey. I'm like hyped up. Speaking of music, you see like it makes you give you that bravado. So I was hyped up, ready just to fight and, you know, defend myself. But I walked in. And I went to my locker, and literally the opposite of what I thought happened. Everyone started clapping. And I literally heard claps, and teachers were like, I'm proud of you, and stuff like that. And people were DMing me and were just like, you're such an inspiration, and this and this and that. And it took me aback because I was like, literally all I did was just tell the truth. Like, all I did was just speak my feelings and say who I was.
Honesty goes a very long way.
Very long way. I just said, this is me. And there were so many people in that moment that were just like, I could never do what you did, or thank you for this. This helped me so much. You don't understand. I came out to my parents and all these other things. And for me, in that moment, that literally lit another fuse in me, a kill switch also, to always be authentic and always just speak my truth, and be assertive in what I believe in.
Right.
Because the other people that, like, so many people DM me, and I was just like, some people that I didn't even know from opposite counties was just like, wow. And I was just like, I just inspired people to, you know, be themselves, even if they're not gay or whatever, but to literally understand something different about themselves they could do also. And mind you, I'm 17. And I was just like, wow, this is crazy. And then I would say another one would just be moving out here when everybody told me no. Everybody was like, you should wait, you should go to college and graduate and da-da-da. And I was like, yeah, but I'm still going to do it. And I think those are my kill switch moments. It's just, literally, it's just, those are my kill switch moments of just like life hitting me. And then the most recent one was when I was in Austin, Texas teaching. And this is the time, just a couple months ago actually, where it was so insane that life was crazy. I was like teaching. I booked a gig with Lizzo. I literally was on stage at South by Southwest, teaching sold out classes, and the rug just got like ripped under my feet. And I was just like, lost my dog, lost my apartment, lost my car, lost some jobs. And I was just like, wow, like when you start not being grateful and forgetting, to be humble, it can be gone just like that. And that happened. I was just like on a high of feeling like, okay, like I'm here. I don't need this job. I quit. I was in that mentality when I shouldn't have been. It was premature. And after that happened, I was homeless because I didn't know what the fuck to do. I moved to Austin literally with nobody there. Same, like just nothing. So car's gone, apartment's gone, dog is gone. And I'm just like, okay, like what am I doing? So I was like, the only thing I can do is just dance. This is all I can do. I can dance. So I was like, I'm putting literally everything into everything I'm doing, and I am dancing, and I'm going to figure it out. So my kill switch was like, figure it out. So I started to dance, teach classes. I was teaching classes while sleeping on the floor in the studio. After classes, I would, drive around and Uber around, and then come back literally come back to the studio parking lot and be like, okay, everyone's gone. I'm going to sleep here and redo it again on the next day when I teach. I taught at the YMCA, and I had to shower in the YMCA like fucking gym, and it was so crazy because I taught at the YMCA. I taught like classes there, so I would shower there. So I would have to teach all the time, so I could do that, kill two birds in one stone. And it was just the grind and grittiness of, for one, not telling my family what's going on, and lying in a sense to be like, oh, everything's fine, I'm good, but also having that pride to be like, I'm doing this because like this is what I really want to do. I have to do this. This is a part of who I am.
I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna figure it out.
I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna make it happen, and it got really hard because there's so many times I wanted to quit. Like sleeping on a fucking floor after dancing all day is the craziest feeling in your life. Never. I don't recommend. 10 out of 10 do not recommend. But like I have this thing. I romanticize the journey, the struggle, the artist's way, so much that like that inspires me. I'm inspired by the struggle, which is crazy. But maybe to be an artist, you have to be insane a little bit.
You have to be insane a little bit. If you're not insane a little bit, then you're too sane, and then it goes back to the whole 9-to-5 thing.
Yeah, like it doesn't work. It doesn't work.
Be insane in what you believe in, because if you don't, nobody else will. It comes from within, like how you said earlier. It comes from within. So that was a more than inspiring story, and as well, you sleeping on the floor got you up the next day. Like, okay, I'm ready for today, even though I didn't get the best of sleep. I'm in pain. I know that this is only temporary, and I'm going to get past this, and I'm going to show and prove to myself and prove to my family what I can do. But first to yourself, which is, you're awesome.
No, thank you. And the funny thing, I posted a video the other day of me being in the studio, because it reminded me, it was 6 months ago. And in the video, I said, this is Da'Ante, and 6 months from now, I'm going to be in a completely different place, doing completely different things. And this time in my life right now was just to prune me for something greater. And that was 6 months ago. And I'm in Los Angeles now, and I'm on a different track. And that video really did represent a time in my life that I actually am grateful for. But also it's a timestamp that it all happened, and how pushing forward and believing in myself and getting myself through that literally just elevated and got me here. which is also crazy. And I say crazy in like a beautiful, majestic way. Like, I'm just like, what a thought can do. Like, I thought this. I was like, I'm going to be okay. I'm going to make it. It's going to work out. And no matter the craziness that I'm going through, it's for a reason. It's purposeful. And to see it slowly working its way out is inspiring to myself. Still.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful, and it's only the start. And as you're very aware, just like getting up to go to the bathroom or taking a sip of water, it starts as, okay, I have to do this. So keep doing, keep creating, keep inspiring. We have a couple things left for you guys. Don't worry, we're not done. We're almost there, though. Kind of want to ask you about your reality, but we'll come back to that for a second because you've created this awesome picture already. Tell me about how fashion plays into being a dancer, creator, artisan, what that means to you.
Yes. Fashion to me is literally just an expression of who I am.
Okay.
For me, my big like influences are people that just live their truths. And you see like Michael, you see Prince, you see Aaliyah, those are people that inspire me to just be my authentic self. And it's very like ambiguous type of energy where I can be anything, everything all at once. I can love so many different variations of what fashion is. It's just an expression of who I am. So right now I'm wearing so many colors, it's me feeling vibrant. I feel like I'm expressing how my mood. I feel alive. I feel vibrant. I feel grateful. I feel blissful. I feel very like majestic,
And you guys, if you guys are listening, you guys all are this too.
Yes, you are. You are. You literally are.
Sorry to interrupt.
No, but you literally are. Like, it's the thing. Like, we all are unique individuals and beings, and the way you express yourself is pivotal. Like, don't limit yourself what you can do. Like, tomorrow, I don't know what I'm gonna wear. And that's the beauty of it. It's just it's a beautiful thing to express how you're gonna feel. I can wear all black tomorrow and just be like, today's a day. Or, be feeling myself and, pop out, wear whatever. But fashion literally is the expression of your soul to me. And I think, like, just expressing who you are in that way is fun. And it gets back to, like what I was saying about playing earlier. Dress up. It's just like playing with those things and walking outside and being comfortable and confident enough to walk out and show your truth. That's the first thing you're doing, because you're not walking out naked. You're walking out with layers, You're walking out with stuff you put on, and you're representing yourself. For me, I feel like I'm representing myself, so let me represent myself and how I'm feeling.
Right. I love that. Express yourself.
Express yourself. Don't let That's a song too, right?
Yeah, I think so. Sounds like one. So, what do you say to yourself when feeling conflicted or feeling like something's in the way?
Mm-hmm.
And then you say you like to read a lot of books.
Mm-hmm.
Name off a couple that you would suggest to artists that are in a rut.
Okay, so first, what I say to myself is that, like, look back at everything you've been through. Look at what you've accomplished, what you've gotten yourself out of, where you've come from, and look where you are now. And when you look back and look now, there's so many things that we take for granted that we ourselves have overcome. We don't pat ourselves on the back. We don't congratulate ourselves for our small moments. We don't necessarily, be our biggest supporters in ourselves. We will, support our friends. We will support everyone else to a T, but we don't, give that same love to ourselves. So I think doing that every day has literally gotten me out a lot of stuff, because I am in love with the person that I am pruning myself into being. And I think that right there is just the best way of phrasing it is just I just love who I'm becoming, and because I can see the person I used to be versus now, and everything that I've gone through, experienced, this me version you see in your meeting right now is the sum of that, and I think that's beautiful. So to everyone else, like, just be proud of where you're at, who you are, because there's so much to learn and where you're going, and you'll be a completely different person, and you'll be like, wow, I did that, you know. And to answer the second question, what was the second question?
A couple books that you would recommend to artists, creators that are in a rut or stuck or blah blah blah.
Okay, so I love reading. So the last book that I read is called The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. That book is so good. Mark Manson, fire. Another book that I would say that also has changed my brain is The Four Agreements. I actually got it tattooed on my arm, The Four Agreements, just because they've been so pivotal in my life, because they're the most simplistic things, but they're most hardest things to do. I suggest you read that book with an open mind. It'll give you clarity. It'll really just put you in a different course of your life, I feel, because it did with me. Another one I would say is The Alchemist and The Way of Light. Those two books are books that literally will change the way you think, change the way you feel. It'll show you some type of gratitude for literally any and everything. I just finished The Way of Light. It's the second book to The Alchemist, and it just paints a picture that you would really want to see. And those are the three books that I actually have read so far. And I'm also like trying to get through the whole Bible, so that's hard. But
yeah, it takes a while. But
it takes a while, but I'm trying.
Hey, day by day, don't try to read more than you need to. Day by day, that way you take the time to analyze and do all that fun stuff. So, couple things. Before I allow you to say what you'd like to end off with, anybody who comes on my show, I ask for you to promise not only to me, but to yourself first, 3 things that you want to work on this week, that not that you haven't been doing, but you feel like you can be doing better or lack thereof.
I would say execution.
Okay.
I have so many ideas, and they're so sporadic, and I am talented and gifted by God with so many things, but my execution for all those things lack because I'm focused on this. I get another idea, boom, and then this, that. I kind of really want to work on literally just focusing a little bit, or focusing all my energy in one thing, finishing it, and then going to the next before taking a break with one thing and doing the other, because it leads me nowhere, or where I started. Another thing is continuing open communication with people. I think I have been so closed off with allowing certain energies into my life that I can be a little nicer. Allowing certain people, because I'm looking at them at where I am in my journey and not where they are in theirs. And just because I'm healing and wherever I am in my journey doesn't mean that they are in the same place as me. So allowing myself to see people for where they are, and who they are in this current moment, and not judging based off of that because I feel I'm at this point, or I'm above this, or I can't do this anymore. It's none of that. It's just the fact that it's kind of not aligning with me anymore. So being able to take that for face value. And another thing I would say this week, I want to breathe. I think I get in the habit of go because I feel like I'm on a time crunch, which is a good thing and a bad thing because we don't know when our last day is or anything. So we should be on a time crunch. But I want to always remember to like smell the grass, smell the roses, just breathe a little bit. And obviously those are 3 things I'm working on.
I love that, especially the last one, breathing, because when you live in LA, you have no time to breathe, or you feel like you don't have time to breathe. But I myself can agree to when I'm go, 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 and I'm not breathing as I should, especially because I have asthma.
Mm.
You know, we have this added stress that we might not even feel to the end of the day, where we're like, wow, today was crazy.
Yep.
You know, but if we find the way to breathe throughout the day and control our breathing, even the biggest task, even when we feel so unorganized and we want to do 10, 15 different things, we could find a way to slow down and still work efficiently. So
Yep, I agree.
I love where you're coming from on that. And he just got his gym membership and he's going to be in the gym. So, you know, anything else that you would like to leave for the youth?
I would love to say there are so many things that the world is pushing at us and you guys that makes you think that you have to do or you have to be a part of or is important or is just something that you can't live without in your life. But I would like to say to take a step back and just really, really focus on how you feel, who you are at a young age, earlier age, and figure that out now, because later on it'll be harder. And I'm just gonna be transparent. It'll be harder to try and pick yourself back up after not knowing who you are for so long, and trying to do all these life things alone in the world. It just gets harder. So I would say to start that process now, be authentic now. Don't be afraid of vulnerability. There's vulnerability and strength. There's strength and vulnerability.
Yes.
It is okay to feel. It's okay to express your human emotions. I would say to dream as big as you can. The world is limitless. Everything that we have today in the world was a thought. So just think about that. Like everything we have, someone thought of. And that is beauty and power and magic in itself. You're never too old or too young to go after anything or start something or do anything. You're never too unknowledgeable, or you don't need all the resources to. They will come as long as you believe in yourself and allow yourself to meet and thrive with the energies that will surround you. And I would say don't forget to also have fun. And like I said a while ago, breathe. And also follow me on Instagram at Da'Ante_Inferno, because most of the stuff that I am talking about and my story will be there and to look back on, to see, to grow with me, because I am just like you. I literally have no fucking idea what I'm doing on this earth, but I am literally learning as I go. And what I've learned so far is what you see. Who I am has been what I've learned so far. So take that how you will, and always feel free to reach out, talk to me, DM me, whatever case may be. I want to get back to being human with people, human interaction. So that's where I start with first. So yeah.
Love it. Very well said. I don't think I could add anything onto that because that was just beautiful. Office of the Day with Da'Ante Inferno. All of his socials will be down below. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. You know, very loving and caring person. And if you guys want to reach out, everything will be listed below. Thank you guys. You guys have tuned into another stellar episode.
Oh, thank you.